Hello, everyone, and welcome into more Challengers here on the Sorcerer Network. My name is Sorcerer Matt. This is a really fun deck building game. All right, I think we're gonna add the vendor. We're gonna definitely add the vendor and the pony. This is a really fun, really quirky deck builder. Got to me a good amount of RNG versus deck building. Really, the artwork is really quirky. Very, very fun. I played this on the channel before. I'll try to do my best to kind of do the rules as we go here, for those of you that are unfamiliar. But basically, we build your decks in, I believe, 8 phases. And the idea is to capture the flag. If you can see here, the numbers take the flag. And then certain cards have certain powers and other stuff like that. That's pretty good. Love that to get on the bench there. Because now I've got another card of 4 in there. So the idea is to have the flag when your opponent runs out of cards or runs out of bench spaces. So you see kind of this bench here. There's only room for 6 unique cards. And the good news here is the tie always goes to the person that's attacking the flag instead of defending. And then over 7 rounds, you get points, and the top 2 go into a final matchup. I will say that, ooh, that's nice. It is more important to have a good second half of the game rather than a good first half. Though, definitely, I'm going to go ahead and do this. I'm going to go ahead to remove a newcomer. I like getting there is a newcomer deck. Obviously, this is your starting deck. But when I don't have it, I like to get them out of there because late in the game, it's annoying to have them. And I'd rather fill my spots up with other things. And then obviously, so there's different sets with this. They have different power-ups, other things like that. Again, if you're unfamiliar, you'll kind of see some things as we go through. It's the biggest thing with this game of why I've heard some people can be frustrated is it is random. And so how you draw is you're not manipulating your deck in any way, and you're just drawing off the top. Though I will say, what I have found is if you have built your deck in a effective way, chances are you're going to have good draws. And as you can see here, there's ways to clean up your bench. There's ways to give things more attack power. So like this one, the 1 power cards have +2 during attack. This allows you to cycle the newcomers back to the top of the deck. There's whole bunch of fun stuff you can do. Yeah, this whole newcomer thing is gonna. I don't love that. While it's easy to retake the flag, it is not as easy to. Okay, yeah, I need to waste more cards here. Oh, interesting. Okay, that has on attack. That's fine. Wonderful. And then I think I've got a couple newcomers left, and that's it. Okay, delightful. Delightful, delightful, delightful. This is a great start here. Great start. And that's our last card. Very close win. Wonderful. Taking the first 2 down. Really like the yellow card build is really, really nice. And you'll also notice here at the bottom right-hand corner, there's a card. That's an A card. There's B and C cards. They go up in power depending on and abilities and things like that. And you have the option right here to make your first decision on, do you go for getting 1 B card or 2 A cards? And it depends on what deck you can pull from. But I like the artwork in this game. It's also pretty easy to understand. The other nice thing about it, I'm always looking for, I've got 2 kids. I'm always looking for, hang on, I always go with the 2 cards rather than the 1 card. I just like this better. So I like this. And then I'm going to go ahead and redraw and try to grab more. Yeah, I like that. Okay, now is where I want to remove, because see, now I've got 7 unique. And so I don't want a situation where my bench gets full and I lose off of that. So even if you have cards left in your deck, your bench is full, you're done for. I'm just going to remove the first 2 newcomers. I know that decreases my total cards, but I'm pretty happy with this. Done. So going back to my point, I always try to find games that like my kids could do. And this game does have quite some deeper strategy, but on the actual like gameplay, so to speak, it's just like war. But it does have some deep strategy for gamers because you can create some pretty optimized and ridiculous decks. And I have in the past, and it's very, very fun. You can also kind of whiff and have a really bad time, but I found that there's plenty of strategies out there that you don't often get a deck that just does absolutely nothing. Now, sometimes you can run into a buzzsaw that can just defeat everybody, but this is a pretty nice start. So these vendors are great. You usually need 2 of them to really get this going. So now, however, I want these first because I want these on the bench is where I want them. So yeah, I don't like that you have a vendor as well. This is the other strategy with it, is kind of seeing what other people are doing. I've not been doing this a lot this game. This is another one that the AI from the bench power 2 cards have +1. So, there's that. I have another card in here that's a juggler that allows me to manipulate the order of cards. And that can be another thing that can really help you. But as you can see with like this deck, had this AI come out before these other 2, that would have increased the power. Whereas, all right. So this is a perfect example. Like, I want this on the top because I want that to come out next, and then I'm going to do the champion and then the pony. Because now I can guarantee, now it was already in that order, but let's just for snicks and grins say it wasn't. Now I've pulled that one to the top, guaranteeing that when my pony comes out, it'll be at 5 power rather than 3, which is pretty nice. And I also know that I have the 4 here. So now that you can see here with 2 AI, 2 power cards now are taking down things. That's pretty formidable. But had that come out earlier, it would have been even more formidable. Now, the bench is full. So this is an example here where not as big of a deal now. Now, the question is, do I have the cards to... I don't think I... Oh, I do have the cards to beat this. Excellent. I forgot that I had a second pony. All right. 3 in a row. So you can see here the loss is technically due to no bench space, but, it also, the person was out of the deck here. So this person has AI. This person's gone full 1 power, which can be pretty ridiculous. All right, so now we're to the point where I feel good about where we are with the baseline. I want to go ahead and try to build this up. This power technician is in I think this is like a circus theme. Fans are the points in this game. I think I'm going to go ahead and take this because I want to make sure that I don't whiff. This is a fun card. This right here, this Teenager, is a ridiculous card if you're in this build. It can be very gross. So now I really want to start thinning out. I never want to go more than 6 unique. This deck does not have any ways to get people off the bench. And there are times where you can say, hey, let's take the risk and hope the cards line up. And that's fine, especially early on, or even at this point of the game. You can kind of do a round, and because every round you get to take cards out, so you can kind of, decide what you want to do. But I think that I usually try to keep it at 6, especially if you have a good enough deck. I'm not too worried. And then obviously, like cards can be stacked on top of each other, as you've seen. So that's a card we don't want to see at the outset, because now all 2-power cards for the rest of this round are going to be powered. This is also a card I don't want to see, because I want my pony to be powered up to 5 power with the vendor. So the vendor is absolutely what I want to see. Don't love to see my pony again. Because now, this is now this person's deck, much more effective when there's, less on there. This, great card to come out early, terrible card to come out late. So you are a little bit at the mercy of the deck. But even so, this is, okay, if you have a single, okay, yeah, I definitely want that on the top. Confirm. I'm hoping that I maybe can take the flag with the next vendor to be able to have my pyrotechnician come out, which I'm not going to be able to, because that's only going to be at power 3. Now, I will take 2 passive victory points, which that's another thing in this game that don't count out the passive points. Okay, so I feel pretty confident against this deck, to be honest with you. I think that my opponent had the ideal draw, and we had the not ideal draw. And I think if things are different, we're in great shape. I mean, the fact that AI came out literally the first card, not great for us. All right, man. See, this is, I know I'm not doing this build, but this is put a card with base power 2 from your bench on top of your deck. Da-da-da-da-da. So if you build this deck, it's gross. Absolutely gross. Okay, this is a horrendous draw. No cards in what we were looking for. The cook isn't terrible, because when the flag is in our possession, it does give us +1. And then I don't even care. I'm just going to grab this so someone else can't grab it, and then I'm going to immediately remove it from my deck. This is an example. I'm going to go ahead and just go with 7 unique in this and go from there and kind of hope it works out. That's a bad draw for my opponent, because that butler cleans out stuff from the bench, and there's nothing on the bench. Now probably get rid of the champion there. So this is the 1-power build. And yeah, this very much, the makeup artist needs to be on the bench. Ooh, that's a very good mime, and very good in the 1-power build. Yeah, getting 6 here. All right, that's a great draw for us, because I was hoping that we weren't going to have a super amount of cards. Getting the cook out is also not a bad idea. Movie star coming out with no newcomers, also very nice. All right, I want this on top. See, this is a perfect example of, and I'm going to go ahead and do that. I don't want to risk this pony not coming out buffed. And we also do get the +1. Not that it's going to matter with the 1-power build. But the fact that I took the first 3 trophies, I've got some passive fans here as well. I'm feeling okay. Really, the biggest problem right now is I am going to run out of space on my bench here very, very quickly, which I should have seen coming, because now this is going to be my last card, and I'm going to get beat. So that was a misplay on my end, where I should have had the pony come out, though I'm not sure in this case, with stuff attacking as 5, it would have mattered all that much. So it's okay. Really, the bad thing about this is my deck didn't get much better, because I didn't draw anything of note. So very happy to get 2 B cards here. I'm going to grab the rubber ducky and hope we can hit something else here too. Ooh, the Clairvoyant is also very nice. Okay, so now we're definitely going to get rid of this. And these cards have also... they're fine. And then I'm going to get rid of this Pyrotechnician. The Clairvoyant's just a better 4-power card. And I like having a little beefy boy with the rubber ducky here. These are the matches now, 6 and 7, that really gotta put together some wins here. Because these different trophies scale up. So, like, I have 8 points in trophies and 2 points from the public fans. That's what they call them. Again, these are just points. They call them fans in this game. But, okay. So, we want to try to get some more to push us into the finals here. But yeah, don't count out passive fans here. Because, all right, let's get an ideal draw here. That is the bee's knees right there. 7-power card coming out right away. Yeah, my opponent having to use at least 3 cards, probably 3, to... Yeah, that's really nice. Obviously, my opponent wanted to get that card out first, but, man, 7 power, having my opponent use a bunch of cards, ooh-wee, that's nice. Ah, that's a good play. Get some value back. However, all right, that's not as great of a draw because I want my vendors to come out. It's a great play by my opponent because now gets to look at the top 3 again, can manipulate the order. If as much of your own luck as you can make is great. UFO is a great card, though it does put random cards into your deck. Yes, to the vendor. No to that, but our best card in the deck, UFO, place them under. Yeah, so this gives you more cards, and you do get to keep those cards. You can remove them in between rounds, but you do run the risk in the match of okay, so this is going to be at 6. I think I want that on top. And then I want this on the top. Yes. I want the rubber ducky to come out. The Clairvoyant is allowing me to do that. Because this is going to come out and immediately take out the mascot. And now what I'm hoping for is, yeah, see, this is good for us. Because now there's nowhere for the AI to go. And I very easily can beat 3. And that is fantastic. That is wonderful. So you can see I won match 6, gained 7 fans. Excellent. Excellent, excellent, excellent. Now, we got the highest level cards. So definitely want the teddy bear. Look at the African deck, turn them in anywhere top of your deck. This is also one of my favorite cards. You can like really get your opponents to run out of bench space because it puts a random card on top of their deck. Now, it can also really help your opponent. But... So I guess my question is, do I guarantee that I'm going to get a bumper car here, or do I roll and try to see if like another teddy bear comes? Now, there's only 2 of them. So I think that I would rather grab the guaranteed stuff. This is basically a better juggler, so I'm going to remove the juggler. And then I don't think the mime is something I want in this deck. I don't think it works as well in this deck, even though it did like really helped us last time. But I think I'm okay with this. We're playing the hottest player right now. All right, would love that have been a vendor. Ah, yes. Okay, so now what card did we get? Now see, that is where that worked out incredibly well for us. I want this card on the top. That worked great for us because now we just got an extra Clairvoyant and we didn't risk the bench space. Now, this can be where if it's just a random card, okay, what do I want? Move a card to the top. I want this card on the top. And then I want this second. Confirm. I want the rubber ducky to come out last of this. So... yeah, you can really screw up your opponents. Yes, use 3. Oh, another one. Oh my gosh. Okay. That's now a little bit more of a problem. Okay, a little bit more of an issue here. However, you know, it is what it is. I've still got, this will open up a spot. Now, this will be the duck. Oh, no, that's the clairvoyant. Oh. All right, so now we can get the teddy bear on top. And I really want my opponent to... Yes, okay, wonderful, 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 wonderful. So now we just have to beat this, and we run them out. So yes, I want this to be on the top. Not that it really matters at this point, because whatever I beat, which is only something of 4. But I just want to put out something of 9. Yes. The UFOs are really good, like the mid-game. They become less good down the road. But the hologram has won me. This has won me many games. All right, so we are playing the same person again. We are in the finals here. We had 26, 21, 17, 14. Yep, wonderful. So obviously we want to remove this, and then our deck stays exactly the same. Thank you for the extra clairvoyant. That was delightful. And now you can see we really have quite a... Oh, and the perfect draw right off the top. We have quite a lot of ways now to manipulate the deck. Whereas, okay, yes, great. Clairvoyant coming up. You love to see it. You love to see it. Now, I don't love to see that. Let's go ahead and move, especially with these being on top. Let's go ahead and move that to the top. Yeah, that's not as great, but so be it. I don't hate a cook here. Really, the question is going to be, can we get this value? Put one under your deck and the other on top. Okay, this is actually kind of nice. So, I think I want that on top because I want to try to keep bench space open. And this also allows me to manipulate my deck. Yeah, that cook also not necessarily great for us, but inadvertently great for us in this final round. Really, can we just hang on? Okay, so I want now this to be on the top. Confirm. Because now, and I know that the 2 ponies, I believe, are there as well, and I've got 2 spots open. So now we're just kind of hoping that can we just, yeah. Okay, I want to see a card that's not on his bench. That is not one of those cards. However, this teddy bear is doing work. Okay, that's also there. That's also a thing. However, this is not an unbeatable card. And I know we have another pony next, so we've got another card to go. Delightful. There's the parrot. There's the rescue pod, which is a sneaky good card in the beginning. If you can get it to lose the flag, you get a higher level card. All right, this should be very easy. There we go. Wonderful. So we really only lost like a little bit in the middle, and I think part of that was due to a bad draw. So yeah, I like this game. It's a really quirky game, and but really can be quite... You can really get into some strategy of it. And you can see there where I don't have control over what order this is in, but I have more control because of the cards that I drew. So hey, if you're enjoying the content, I know if you are a not Ticket to Ride person, you're going to hate this channel. But I do some other board games for me here and there. So if you're enjoying the content, go ahead and hit that subscribe button, like and comment, and we'll see you next time.